Happy Saturday. Welcome into the Reset Room. My name is Rhonda. I'm a career reset coach. If you're wondering what is that, I help people change jobs, change careers, level up at work, and get paid. And lately, we've been discussing a lot about just how AI is impacting work and life. And so we're doing some work with that. I'm just really excited for this new chapter. I love this new chapter 2026. It's not really a campaign, but that TikTok is really pushing to engage conversations about preparing for what's next, which is so. Hey, Uma, welcome in. Hey, Melanie, welcome in. Which is so in line with resets. Here in this space, we call the Reset Room. Hey, that girl sent. Welcome in. We discuss all things life and career resets and just how they mirror each other and also give clues to one another. In addition to December being like a holiday time and, hopefully time off from work like I have, it's a planning time for me. Good day. How are you? Happy Saturday. It's a planning time of year, thinking about going into the new year and not so much the whole resolutions thing, because that isn't sort of where I like to go with it. Hey, Marquita, welcome in. Um, it's more about just really goal setting and thinking about everything life and resetting, whether that's, career stuff, life stuff, health stuff, money stuff, and especially mindset. So we're going to be diving into all of those things over the next couple of weeks. Thank you all and welcome in. I haven't been on in a couple days, just tired, cold. Like I'm in New York and the weather has just been up. Like yesterday, we had some crazy wind coming through here. It was like so insane, so insane. The wind, the rain. It was crazy. So just not really feeling well, but wanted to definitely pop one today. I'm traveling home tomorrow to be with family, so that will be fun and crazy. But yeah, looking forward to. Hey, PJR, welcome in. We're looking forward to doing that. I have 2 weeks off from work, so I don't go back to work till January 5th. So this first week I will be in my hometown with family, but that next week I'll be back home and just really diving into fleshing out my 12-week year plans, which I've been talking a lot about that. If you've never heard of the 12-week year, I discovered this book, oh my gosh, probably about 3 years ago. Hey, Kevin, the Ultimate Jesus Freak, welcome in. And it has just been life-changing for me. So what the whole premise behind what the authors have created with this, hey, Coffee, welcome in. Hey, Cherie, welcome in, is that you can, following their template and their process, hey, Ruben, welcome in, you can accomplish a year's worth of goals in 12 weeks, which is why they call the book the 12-week year. It's in my showcase too, if you want to check it out. But yeah, like I said, I discovered it probably about 3 years ago, and it has just elevated and just sort of skyrocketed goal setting for me. And I've always been pretty good at it, setting goals sort of on my own, but discovering this was, hey, Rakia, welcome in, was game and life changing. And so for me, like moving into this next period, it's like I am actually 2 years away from retiring from my 9 to 5. And I still work and consult and do all the things. Hey, DMC, welcome in. But really, like, time is like, I'm on kind of like a time crunch, really. And not really a crunch, but there's like so many things I want to get done. Hey, Fitz, welcome in these next 2 years. And it's not even 2 years, y'all, because I have a countdown timer on my phone and it's actually 21 months. But looking forward to accomplish so many things, like even here on TikTok. Like for me, this is a new reset, a new journey, being a live creator as well. Hey, Candy, welcome in, as well as also being a content creator, and just looking to do more sort of with that, and not necessarily more posting and that kind of thing, because I kind of feel like I got that part kind of down pat. Let's see, TikTok is giving me a flash goal. I feel like not that I've mastered content, but I have quite a few viral videos. So I think I'm pretty good at hooks, which is again the thing that, first attracts folks into your content, is actually having a good hook. So okay, let me see. What are they asking for? Okay, there's a, okay, let me pin this flash go here. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I think it definitely the hooks part of it. I have, like I said, quite a few viral videos. Some of them went viral unintentionally. So I think just by just doing and keeping posting, I learned through all of that. Plus all of the analytics that this platform gives us to help us better, our content, better just doing everything that we do, whether you're strictly a content creator or even if you're a live creator. The platform gives us so much information and data to keep going and to just perfect it and make it better and better. So I joined the platform. Gosh, this is the fourth month, but actually I'm in the middle of my second month of going live. So it hasn't even, hey CP, welcome. It hasn't even been 2 months yet of going live. And so that is still an everyday learning journey. And it's been really great. Like the one thing I think that's been the most surprising and also the most rewarding is community. Like I have built a community here within this room, the Reset Room, which is amazing. And folks come in and out, and we've talked, like I said, we talk all things life and career resets, particularly generally, like if something is off in your life, like something just feels off, it can give clues to career, something off there and sort of vice versa. And sometimes it's like the same feelings. Like if the environment just doesn't feel quite right, you want to kind of dive into that and figure out, like, is it certain situations? Are you around certain people when that feeling comes up? Is it environment? Like, do you walk into a certain meeting? Is it the people you work with? And sort of figuring out, like the goal is really to figure out like when those feelings come up and then really, hey Joey, welcome in. And then sort of probing to figure out, hey Royalty, welcome in. Hey Sky Blue, welcome in. And to figure out like what's really at the core of that. Like I'll just share so many stories. I've lived a lot of life in my 58 years. But there was one time I was on a job. I was living in Atlanta at the time, and I had been there 3 years. And it was a founder-led company, so a small company, maybe about 25 of us. And I really had sort of learned all that I could learn there. And I'm a growth person. Like I need to keep growing, developing, learning, for me personally. It's not even necessarily even about like climbing a corporate ladder. It's just about personal growth for me. And that's just something that I value. And so I had really done everything I could do. I was a right hand to our owner. Like there was really nowhere else to go. So I was sort of deciding whether I wanted to go back to school. I had started like my master's years ago. Hey, Doe Roman, welcome in. Hey, Ebony, welcome in. When my girls were younger. And, with life, they were younger, trying to work on a master's. It was just too much. So I stopped. So I knew that at some point I wanted to finish that. Or if I just wanted to maybe switch jobs, like start looking, reset my career, look for a new job and just sort of move on. But I knew what felt off. Like I knew that I wasn't growing there anymore. I knew that like I wasn't necessarily excited to go to work. For me, that's something that I'm excited. Like I want to learn. Like my current boss, I'll tell you, I'm in New York City, like I said. So I left Atlanta in 2012 and moved to New York City. Strategically, I did actually finish that master's in public administration, which is government administration, but I concentrated in nonprofit leadership and management and knew that I wanted to give back in that way. And, just started doing my research and found that New York City has the largest nonprofits here. And I was here for 3 weeks and I had my one and only interview, and I'm still with my boss today and we're going on 13 years. But I learn something every single day that he and I have an interaction. And so for me, that is value. And it's value not just in like what I do for him in the company every single day. That's great. Hey, Denise. Hey, Dion. Hey, Pretty Twisted. Welcome in. But it also helps to build my skill sets. I don't know if you ever heard this term, skill stacking. And it's basically just learning different things, even if it's something you learn, on your own. How can you apply that to make you not just better, but more valuable? And so for me, like that job wasn't giving me that. So I knew, I think it might be time for me to consider moving on. So that's sort of like that off feeling. Hey, I've been in relationships, similarly, when I talk about life and, and career sort of giving clues to one another, been in relationships where things also felt off and was like, maybe it's, time. Maybe this has sort of run its course. Like, are the people that are around me today, are they still supporting me in the way that I need to? Does this still work? Am I the same person that I was when I came into, hey, Buff Joe, welcome in. When I came into this situation, am I that same person? And so again, life just really gives you clues. Totally, totally clues. Wait, Buff Joe, do I know you in real life? Um, but yeah, so life is just sort of that. So this is the period that I am in. I don't know if you all have seen like the new chapter 2026, which is sort of where a lot of creators like myself are having live conversations talking about that, like where we're going. And then also on the other side, if you're just a user of the platform, you can join conversations and really talk about those things. But over the next couple of weeks, we're going to be diving into a lot of that career stuff, particularly thinking about AI on I think it was on Tuesday's live this week. I actually just organically, it was so interesting. Hey, Gilbert, welcome in. I organically talked about I'll give you this story and then sort of tell you where we went. So I recently came off a cruise, and what was like most shocking to me, the most shocking use of AI that I've seen to date, was that we cleared immigration through an AI kiosk, which was profound and also shocking, but also so informative and telling as to where we're going. Yeah, so you stood in front of a kiosk and maybe 5-10 seconds, and then it flashed on the screen, immigration cleared, and you left the seaport. So for me, so in my work, let me tell you, so I still have my 9 to 5 in addition to all the other things I do. I'm a chief HR officer and I'm also a chief operating officer. So when I saw that we cleared immigration from a kiosk, I began to think about the company that I work at. So like, for example, we have 3 front desk people that man our front desk access and control. So of course I thought about, well, if I put in a kiosk, potentially maybe I only need one of those 3 people. And that is really what we're going to start seeing as early as the summer of next year with the changes in AI and where the world of work is going. And folks, we just have to start getting prepared for that. It is changing. Not sure if you all have seen the documentary. It came out September of 24. It was Oprah did it with a bunch of AI experts, and it was called AI and the Future of Us. And here's the interesting thing too. You cannot even find it in its entirety on the internet anymore, which is very telling because it was shot from the perspective of how is this going to impact the everyday American. And it was so telling. And probably the most profound thing for me, being that I work in the world of work, I'm in the career space, is that Oprah had asked a question to Bill Gates. He was on the panel and asked him, like, what will jobs look like, in the next 3 to 5 years? And he basically said that they're going to shrink. Like, most people will be working 3 days a week. And, initially he's like, okay, that sounds good. Well, not really. Because think about it. If we're all only working 3 days a week, that's 2 days of pay we're not getting, right? So this is where it's like, okay, work is shrinking. And just that example about me thinking about my front desk. Hey, Tasha. Hey, Ms. Owens, welcome in. And then I thought about, so this is another change that just happened in my work. So again, I oversee HR as well. So our database that we use for all the employee information and also to screen new hires and for people to apply, they just added in a recruiting screener. Now I have a physical person that does that job. But now this system can do it. Hey, believer in Jesus can do it. And so like I'm going to test it out over this, break period. But that job that's a full-time recruiting role is probably going to shrink to a part-time role. And this is what we're going to begin. Hey, Candy, welcome in. This is what we're going to begin to see. The world of work is going to shrink. And what AI does, if you think about it, it's replacing tasks. So not like it can't replace like thinking, and it can't replace human interaction. So, if you're in that sort of work, I wouldn't go as far to say like Safe, I would just say you're probably more protected. It still doesn't mean that some work still won't shrink, but truly work that you're need that mind power to do. I work at a nonprofit. That human interaction working with clients, like AI can't replace that. So that type of work isn't going to go away. But when I think about the admin functions in our organization, I can see a lot of that work literally shrinking, and that's where we're going. So we've been talking a lot here in this room, and not trying to scare folks, but just so that we can all be prepared for what's coming. Denise, any role, the 60% repetitive, absolutely. Absolutely, Denise. And anything that is task-based, repetitive, like I talked about a front desk agent, and then like recruiters who screen resumes all day. Well, systems are doing that now. And so absolutely. So if you're in that line of work, you want to begin to thinking now about, okay, how else can you supplement your income? Thinking about different revenue streams, other things that you can do so that you're prepared and not scrambling, like when it sort of hits the environment and the society at one time. And we're really behind in the US. Like if you look at other countries like Japan, like we are really behind. And even the country itself isn't. I'm in New York City, and we are still a bit behind. As much as, people think New York is moving, shaking and moving fast, we're really behind if you think about California. My daughter was just on a business trip to to LA, and they have all the cars that are driving themselves. No, I ain't getting in one of those. But they're out there and they're moving around. They're testing them here in the city. I think that's real dangerous. It's dangerous driving here with man people behind the wheel. But again, it's just another thing that it's a repetitive task. Traffic, is governed by GPS. We don't use maps anymore. That's a system. But that's really the way world of work is shrinking. So I was just, like I said, we were just talking about HR the other day on my live, and I just walked through those two examples. And that's not even looking at my whole company. Like we have 350 employees. Like if I look at admin positions, there's probably, I don't know, I'd probably say, gosh, maybe 80. Like there's probably some efficiencies there, and systems can and will eventually shrink those jobs. So it won't be what we'll see. It won't be like a million people out of work tomorrow. It won't be that, but it will truly, like that shrinkage from working 5 days a week down to 3 days a week. That is what we're going to start seeing. Like I said, I just two positions in my company, well, two roles, I should say, that potentially have are going to potentially impact 4 people. And that's just one thing that I came up with on the fly. So that's sort of what, is coming. So we're just talking about getting prepared through lots of different ways, through creating digital products, through consulting, and how to package what you're great at into an offering. And so many of us don't look at our work sort of in that way. So that's definitely something each day we're going to pick up we're starting next Monday, but we're going to pick up a new avenue and just really walk through helping people think about that. So like even with that, packaging something you do like in your job and creating an offering. I'll tell you about, I'm a corporate trainer in a mission. I do many things. I'm in a nonprofit. Okay. We wear many hats, which is fine. But I'm our management trainer. And so this was actually so with my boss, I told you we've worked for him for 13 years, but this is actually our third nonprofit that we've been at. So I've moved with him. He's the CEO, and I've moved with him. So the second organization we were at, I developed a management course and trained all of our managers. We had about 75 managers. So some of his colleagues had heard about the course and asked him if I would come. They were based in DC, if I would come to DC to train his managers. Hey, CR, welcome in. And when he asked me about it, of course, I was excited about the opportunity, but then I had to slow down a second and really think smart about it. Like, I created this course. I need to own this course. This course needs to be Rhonda's. It doesn't need to belong to the organization. And so that was my deal. Like I charged for the course. That organization paid me. I took days off. I used PTO time from work, and I went and trained the course. And that's a course that I continue to sell and train managers on nationally. Hey, Mama Lupe, I hope you're feeling better. Thank you for your heart, me. I hope you are feeling better. I wasn't feeling well last night, so I know I missed your live. Let me try to grab you. If you all don't know who this wonderful creator is on the platform, let me see if I can grab you. I can. Mama Lupe is an amazing live creator, and what she helps us do on the platform, if you're a content creator, she helps us connect scripture to our why and our purpose here on TikTok. And I discovered her, gosh, probably my second month, maybe my second or third month in, and it's a great space. She's West Coast, so for me it's fitting because I see her at the end of my day. And it's on those days when this TikTok thing, it's great. I love it. It's a lot of work. It can take you, like anything else, it can take you through all the emotional ups and downs, and having that safe place to come to every night, I love you, to come to is just amazing. So if that resonates with you, please connect with her and join her live. She's just amazing and just a warm and amazing person. So thank you for popping in. It's kind of early for you. Are you feeling better? You might have said it in the chat, but it's moving pretty fast. I love you too. Are you feeling better, Mama? I know you didn't come on the other night because you weren't feeling well. I think it's just going around. Like, I've got some sniffle things going on, and we had crazy wind and rain here yesterday. Ugh. Okay, Mama Lupe, you just reached level 5 in this room. Mama, we are talking about just preparing for the world of work and life in 2026, thinking about jobs, thinking about AI. And I was sharing a couple examples and just things that in my work as a chief HR officer and chief operating officer, like I'm thinking about how can we do, you're still super congested. I was going, okay. You were giving Urkel vibes again last night. Oh, dang, I missed that. And she is hilarious too, y'all. Like, I love, like I said, we talk about scripture and we connect it to our why on the platform, and we laugh and just have a great time. And for me, like I said, it is just a wonderful way to close my day, and love being there and hanging out her space. So definitely connect with her. But yeah, we're just talking about getting prepared for 2026 in all ways of our life, thinking about career and what we do, ways to create additional revenue. TikTok for me is one of those ways. I'm newer to the platform, on the content creating for 4 months. And this is, I think this is my 7th week of going live. And so that's one way. And then also thinking about, how we make money again off the platform, thinking about digital products, and thinking about, again, how can we replicate what we do here on all the other ones out there, the YTs, the FBs, the IGs, and all the things. We just need to start diversifying and creating revenue streams so that we can be prepared, if and when. And a lot of the statistics, because again, this is what I do for a living, so I'm always looking at data and stats, are saying that we're going to start seeing job shrinkage as early as July. So for many companies, thank you, Mama, for being the title gifter of the best year. For a lot of companies, like even my company, we're on a July 1st fiscal year. So we're starting to have conversations when we come back from the holiday break in January about efficiencies. And so part of this, even though I'm technically off from work, I ain't off. That's something I'm tasked with, like looking at the new technologies that are out there. And then let me tell you this and see if it'll blow your mind like it did mine. So after we cleared customs coming off this ship through an AI kiosk, which still blows my mind because I think, Mama, oh my God, thank you. You're so cute. I think that's my first bubbly kiss. Thank you so much. I'm a nerd, so I started researching. The federal government has 1,700 AI systems in operation, y'all. That's a lot. And then, of course, I started going down the rabbit hole and looking at it. And then I got to the IRS. And that one stood out for me because I learned to be a tax preparer from H&R Block. And I worked for the IRS too. Hey, PC Swimming, welcome in. And I used to be a tax preparer during tax time for the IRS when I lived in Atlanta. And I was like, well, wait, how are they using AI in the IRS? So what they're doing, the job I used to do, during tax time, and we were at the Atlanta Processing Center, and there were probably about 2,000 of us that processed tax returns for the IRS during tax season. That now AI is scanning what we used to do, keying that in, and if something kicked on it, then a human would review it. Those jobs are now being done by an AI system. And so it's just, if the federal government is using 1,700, let me say that again, 1,700 different AI applications, that's going to trickle down to the states. Thank you for those populars, mama. And it's going to trickle down. Let me grab PC Swimming, y'all. I have to, every time she comes into my room, I have to give her, both of these ladies have just touched my journey on TikTok in different ways. So PC Swimming is a swimming instructor, and I don't know how to swim. 58 years old, haven't learned how to swim, and not even because of my own water trauma. It's some mental stuff. A family member drowned. It's a whole story. But I am planning to come to where she is in February and take a week's vacation and learn to swim, y'all. And I owe part of my going live journey to her because I was stalling. I was on the platform, like I said, for 2.5 months learning. And I was like, no, I need to learn more. I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to go live. I'm in all the rooms, learning from all the live pros, the A leaguers, the B leaguers, just learning, trying to get better. And literally, y'all, just stalling. And I was in her live and we were talking about swimming. And then she was like, have you gone live yet? And I was like, why is she in my head? And I was like, what is that? And the way she broke down fear, talking about how fear is disobedient. And if you have fear in one area of your life, you generally have fear in another area of your life. And I had not gone live yet. And I was stalling. And she said, I need you to go live. And that was on a Tuesday, 7 weeks ago. And I went live the very next day on October 29th and have been going live ever since. So thank you so much, PC. You know, I love you big. And yes, we are messaging now about dates. I think I got my dates locked down. I'm going to message you. I'm going to text you, PC, with the dates, but I am going to Kansas City for a week and I am going to learn to swim. And plus, y'all, I'm 58. Like, I got to have this knee replaced in March. I need to rehab this knee. So I want to at least have the basics so I don't drown while I'm in there trying to rehab my knee. Yes, but my surgery is March 11th, so I am definitely coming to get the basics, and I can continue building my skills here in the pool while I'm also rehabbing my knee. But yeah, just like, God just brings you who you need when you need them. Thank you for those tiny Christmases, Mama. But yes, this is what we're going to be diving into all the next 2 weeks, y'all. We are going to be talking about the new chapter 2026 and on, career stuff, life stuff, even health stuff. So for me, since I've had knee trouble this last year, I love my Peloton, y'all. I mean, like I'm in the cold. It's a cold. It's a cold. But I haven't been on it. And so I'm going to, talk to my doctor. He told me sort of how to modify to be able to use it so that I can get my leg, the muscles in my leg stronger for this surgery that I have to have in March. And then I'm going to come out to PC and learn to swim. But yeah, it's like looking at all areas of the life. For me, like December is a planning month. I look at everything. I look at career. Hey, Jody J. Welcome in. Career is pretty much easy. Like I said, I'm 2 years from retiring from my full time. I consult in a couple different ways now, and I continue trying to do more of that. I do the management coaching, like I said, management training and coaching. And then I also work with CEOs. And that was something, hey, sister, how are you? Mama's here. That when I was talking about like finding something you're good at work and try to package it in an offering, that's how my CEO consulting just came up. It was organic. Like every job I've ever had, I end up in the role being an advisor to the CEO. And I think it's because I learned like so many different things that seemed random, I think at the time as I was growing up, but now as I've gotten older, it's like, oh wait, I learned that and I can apply it here. But yeah, I become that right hand, and I have a knack for just speaking the truth and giving it to them raw. And a lot of times with people, employees aren't going to necessarily give it to you raw because you're paying them. And so I package that. I have packaged that as an offering to CEOs where I come in and I can assess their management team, and the beauty of that is that employees will tell a consultant things they won't tell an employee because they feel like there's nothing to lose there. But it helps them to be able to navigate in a way in spite of the team, if it may require some changes, but really giving them that honest advice and counsel that they generally are not going to get from people that are paying them. So with that, think about like, what do you do really, really well? And how can you package that into an offering? Like I said, this management course I developed, it is amazing. It was happening so simple. I created this flyer. I put it on my website. Like I said, one of my boss's colleagues asked me to teach it, asked them to give me a referral, give me a testimony after it was over, off to the races. And right now, y'all, I'm working on the TikTok front. I'm working on putting together my brand deals offering. I am excited for 2026. So I'm putting together a media kit that basically talks about sort of the categories. So if you think about what that is, what a media kit looks like, it's a big fancy pretty word. I know, mama, we got money to get out here, okay? Yeah. Yeah, it's like thinking about the category. So I'm in the career space. So I thought about like technology, because if you see my setup, if I flip the camera around, there's computers everywhere. So technology and systems, because again, that's where I'm looking to go. Hey, Kendra, thank you for the follow. Looking at systems is one category. Technology in general, like I think I own I probably have every brand of something in here, whether it's a printer, a computer, a scanner, some speakers, you name it. I got the tech here. Thinking about lifestyle apparel, like work, wear, and all of that. And then what was the last category? Okay, so this one is a selfish category, y'all. And I am claiming it into existence. So it's old. I drive a 2019 Audi, right? And it's beautiful, don't get me wrong. But I want a brand new one that I don't want to pay for. So I had to take my car in for yearly service a few weeks ago, and I filmed some content in there. And I never really like walk around the dealership. Like I'm not that person. Like I know what I want to go. I don't like shopping like that. Like I do my research ahead of time. I know what I want to buy. I walk in there and I buy the thing. But this time I walked around. Y'all, I've seen the next car, and I'm claiming it that I'm gonna have it as a brand deal. They're gonna wrap it in all kind of words. I'm gonna drive it all over to New York City, and guess what? They gonna pay for it. But I am positioning myself. So yeah, back to the media kit. Like it's basically, you talk about the categories where you want brand deals in. Start thinking about your content, and like, so this gonna take a little work. I mean, I tell people all the time, anything we want, like it's not magic. It's work. That's right, Kendra. I am claiming it and working for it. So I ain't just claiming it and sitting on my laurels and say, okay, Audi, come knock over here. I bought one of them years ago. No, I'm going to work for it. But also thinking about your content, like how to position yourself to be attractive to brands. And one of the other big things, so this is some real homework I'm doing now, is making a testimonial sheet of your impact. So it's like looking at your comments. And like, those comments that says, oh my God, thank you for this tip. That helped me. Screenshot that. These become your testimonials. So that's sort of the phase I'm at now over the next 2 weeks. Going through my videos, which I read all my comments anyway. Didn't know that at the time. I wish I knew then. But now that if you haven't done that, if you get that, comment that speaks to you, in addition to, replying with the video, because that keeps your content moving, but also like screenshot those because that demonstrates your impact. And then you want to make a testimonial sheet for that. You put in your pricing. There's lots of websites out there for you to register with, so brands can come to you, but then also you can proactively reach out to brands. So like I'm developing my list now of the brands I'm looking to approach, so that's something I'm working on for 2026. So it's like whatever we're doing, and we're doing it pretty well. And like I said, I don't think I won't say that I'm an expert at content creation, but I got quite a few viral videos out there. And so if you didn't know, for TikTok, a viral video is anything with more than 1,000 views. And I have like some big virals that are more than like 10,000 views. So I think I'm getting better at it, and I'm okay at it. I think I have enough of an influence to brands. So it's not even about followers. So many people think that brands is interested in the followers, and it's not. It's about the impact. Thank you, Mama. Yeah, and I try. I try. And listen, we're not gonna knock AI, okay? Because I don't know, those of you that are content creators and live creators, that is the best assistant that I pay $20 a month to. And it's been amazing for helping to it's like talking through, right? You give it a prompt and then they give you something. It's like, no, that's not quite it. No, give me this twist, and just helping flesh out not just, content creation. And listen, Mama, we can talk about the ex-husbands, can't we? Listen, y'all, it was one day Mama was in her live and she was talking about her three. What is that? Stop. Oh, somebody's trying to, we ain't battling. She was talking about her three, and I had, I got you beat. I got four, y'all. Yes, the ex-husbands and that Petty Betty algorithm, they all just be doing too much. But yes. So we are just in this thing, doing it together. Like I say, we're going to talk about how we're going to dive into money and talking about saving it, earning it. Oh, okay. 2, 3, 4. Wait, does anybody got me beat? Maybe Elizabeth Taylor, right? That's probably about it. Miss One isn't in that category. She's still happily married to her one. Miss One, we talking about ex-husbands. I know you don't have none of those. Oh, I know, right, Mama? Yeah, I think the only person that has me beat is Elizabeth Taylor. But it's all good, because guess what? That was a reset too. And I have learned, I'm telling you, I've lived so much life, and I think that is partly why I've learned so much. But listen, I can't pick a husband, y'all, but I'm gonna tell you, I can reset a career and grow a salary like nobody's business. So that I know I'm definitely good at. So we're just gonna keep diving into all of that, and so much of all of what I do on the platform is related back to mindset. Like if your mindset was right, you'd probably have the things already, or at least be working for it. And everything that I teach, of course, anyone can use, male or female, but particularly a lot of the content is geared for women, just because I've seen it in the work I do, where we shrink as women. We don't apply for jobs. Like a man can look at a job description and have no qualifications, and he will apply for that job and even get an interview in a lot of cases. And the reason is because, like, on this side of the fence, the recruiters are going to think, well, if he applied, he must have some skills. He probably just didn't do a good resume. Like, what? But that really happens, right? And so us, on the other hand, we can look at a job description and maybe we have 8 of the 10, but maybe not have 2 of the qualifications, and we won't even apply. So that's just that confidence there. Part of that, I think, is like how we were okay, right? Won't it be rich? Listen, I know, Mama, I see that. Let me grab that if I can. But it happens all the time. I see it every day. A friend of mine, he has no experience in food service whatsoever. He saw a job that was running food service at a huge hospital here in the city. No experience whatsoever. He even got to the second round of interview. I'm like, what the hell, Leontay, is that? And it happens all the time. So we got to get our confidence up. So we're going to work on doing all of that good stuff so that we can make that ask. And even at time when it's time to ask for money, like, oh, I hope my boss ain't listening, because here's some place where we're at. Um, he wants me to take on a huge project. It's a heavy lift, no doubt. So I got to figure out the pricing for it, because it ain't included, with the current paycheck. No. So, I got to make my business case, which I will. And, I'm going to have all the data and all of the thing, and I'm going to make my ask. Yeah, you're so right, Denise. Denise says, we as women will run and go grab another degree or certification just to feel ready. Exactly. And most of them don't. And I earned my master's. And I will tell you, did it help me? A little bit, but it wasn't required for the work that I do. But I was smart about it. Like, in coming to New York City, when I earned it, I knew that I was at least going to come here for 10 years. And when did I get my loans forgiven? I think it was last September or October. I had more than $100,000 in student loans forgiven because I put in those 10 years at a nonprofit organization. So I did it smart. But you're right. We're so fast to take another class, and they don't. Men have talked their way into so many jobs and promotions that it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to see. So no, we just got to get ready. We're going to leave those certifications, and not to say that they're not all bad, because some definitely will help propel you, but really think about how I look at like furthering education or even building a new skill is this going to help me today? But is it also going to help me in the future? Like, if it can't outlive just this current experience, then I don't know. I don't know if like I would enroll in a class for it. Like, I might go to YouTube University. I might like not do a degree program, but maybe take a class sort of in that thing versus, thank you, Miss One, versus, doing that. But we do it, we do it. Like, even me finishing my master's, it was more like personal achievement because I had started it when my girls were younger, in the middle of divorcing number one, and just didn't finish. So I knew I wanted to finish, but then I thought about it like, okay, so what am I going to finish this degree in? And so I was like, okay, well, I knew I wanted to end my career in nonprofit as my way of giving back. And so that's what I did. This government, it's in Masters of Public Administration, which is government administration. And then I concentrated in nonprofit leadership and management. But had I not had a thought and a plan, like, okay, I'm going to go and work for 10 years to get that loan forgiven, I don't think I would have done it. Like, I would have probably taken a few courses here and there because it's not expensive. If you've done the master's degree, like, that's all on you. Like, there's no financial aid. Like, you're writing a check or saving the money. What's that, Denise? Right. I say do it for you. Right. And not because you think you have to. Exactly. And that was something for me. I just wanted to achieve it just to say that I had finished it because I started it. But did it really help me get this job? I don't know. I don't think so. Like I say, when I interviewed with my boss, like I said, it was the only one interview I ever had here in the city. And I made some content on this that at the end of the interview, and I'm like, okay, do you have any questions? Yeah, like, like, I know, okay, I get the role, I get what you expect of me. And I simply asked him, if you give me this position, how can I help you? How can I help, serve you? I understand what the organization needs for the role. That question blew him away. And we end up talking for like another 45 minutes because for a couple reasons. For one, it demonstrates that I wasn't just interested in him. Oh, and I don't think I told you all this. This job was a temporary job. It was an interim HR director position because they were going through a merger. And they had already had their people in place of who they wanted to lead HR in the merged entity. So this was basically temporary, less than a year to just basically keep the ship afloat until the merger closed. And I took it for a number of reasons. For one, I'm always going to bet on myself. And I know that I'm a good worker. I know that I'm smart. I know that I solve problems. And I was like, they're going to give me some job around here. And, long story short, the merger fell through, actually. The merger did not happen, as many mergers do. You get to the end, and then it was really some culture things that just could not blend. First of all, there was 3 organizations trying to merge. That is so intense trying to blend the culture of 3 different organizations into one. I just had a feeling it wasn't going to happen, and it didn't. So I was left there, and he and I continued to work together. But yeah, asking him that question, because we talked about, and this is sort of where I began to really solidify the offering that I make now to CEOs when I offer advisory and consulting services to them, because he began to talk about the gaps that he has, like with his current management team, things that he's looking for, thinking that he doesn't see. And so I'm a student always, like I'm making all the mental notes. Some of those things I had already, some of those things I didn't. But listen, I'm going to take a course. I'm going to read a book. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to apply it. I'm going to say, hey, can I do a project and do this? Like I just did a piece of content talking about sometimes at work, you got to be the pick me girl. And I'm fine with being like, pick me. Because for one, I'm going to learn something. People are going to see me. I'm probably going to interact with people that I don't normally interact with on my day to day. And all of that increases your value and your pocket. Value is dollars. Visibility is dollars. So definitely do that. So we're going to dive into all of that. I am just excited to get prepared for 2026. Mama, when are we going? Oh, she left because we started vision board. We just started doing vision board. So I'm going to finish up a couple of those next week. So when I get back home from traveling with the family, I'm doing one just on mindset. Hey, Denise, welcome in. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you for becoming a member of the fan club. As I was doing, making my own personal one, so many quotes that I was coming along and coming across resonated with the work that I do and the content here, and just how powerful and impactful mindset is to any change you're looking to make, whether it's career, life. Hey, Jam and Tammy, welcome in. Sort of whatever it is. So I'm doing one just on mindset. So we're going to dive into that all of next week. I just wanted to pop on really quickly today for a couple reasons. Because one, I had took two days off, and our job over here, they don't like you taking too many days off. Made in DC. Yes. Mama wants to do it live, on a live, actually doing them. So I'm going to coordinate with her and see if next week, if she has some off time to actually do that. Because like I said, I'm going to finish mine once I come back home, because I'll be with family all this week. But yeah, once I get back home next week, no, not next week. Shoot, the week of the 28th. She wants to do it on live together. So yeah, gather your supplies if you can by then. Shameless plug, in my showcase, there are a couple of vision board books, but you can find them from that A store or anywhere else. And it doesn't need to be fancy. I've shown people one that I don't even know what room is in it. It's in the other room. But one, like at the time, I didn't have a fancy piece of poster board. I got a package. I opened up the box. I laid it out. I flattened it out. There's your cardboard. So it doesn't need to be fancy. You don't even need a vision board book. You can go in any store, grab a couple magazines, and just begin to think about the life that you want to create. And I'll just give the science of it and wrap up with that. Because like I told you, I'm a nerd and I'll be studying too. Oh, that is awesome. Yes, do that for your team. I have a couple groups that I'm a part of here in the city, and 2 of them twice a year, we do live. We get together and do vision board parties in the fall. But the science behind vision boards and visualization, not just the vision board, but it really rehearses your brain too. So like the brain can't tell if something is real or imagined. And so what happens is it really starts to rehearse your brain to be thinking about and looking for opportunities. So like, for example, let's see, what's something that's on my new one? Well, let's talk about brand deals, right? And this new car that I don't want to pay for. So what will happen is like I could get an email. So this is what happens in the brain, like things that I probably wouldn't recognize before starting to visualize what I want to happen in that area. Now I'll start to maybe like I may get an Audi. Like first of all, Audi sends a lot of emails, so I may get an email, and most of them I don't read because they trying to buy. They want you to buy a new enhancement. They want you to add on a this, to that, the other. I don't even look at them. But guess what? Now maybe I will, since I'm thinking about that. And so it's like your brain gets rehearsed to look at people, places, opportunities. It could be emails. It could be something you're looking at on a website that sparks an interest. And then you may get some inspired action. Like you may read something and have a thought that, oh, I should do the thing. Don't just think it, do it. So that's the science behind how visualizing works and impacts the brain to bring those things to fruition. And someone had asked me on last Sunday, actually, when we did the vision board live, like, has everything on my vision board came true? And there are two things that are on the current board that have not. One is it's money. It's like crazy ridiculous numbers. Okay. So not even like, I don't know, $5 million in one account, $3 million in like ridiculous numbers of money. So no, that has not happened. I mean, I'm okay. I'm doing okay. And then the other is my retirement house, and I haven't retired yet. So like, I still know what it is I want. I know that it's coming. Haven't figured out where it's going to be yet, but either North Carolina or Florida. Any votes in the chat? Who's for Florida? Made in DC. I know you in North Carolina. And I love North Carolina for so many reasons. My church is based there. I'm a member of Elevation. Made in DC, if you're familiar with Elevation and Pastor Furtick. But I have family and friends in North Carolina. And I wasn't really thinking about Florida until I went on this cruise. And I met, okay, you're familiar? Yeah, Elevation. So I'm a member of Elevation. So my church is there. Like I said, I have family and friends there. So it's always been sort of on my list. And I just recently added Florida because I met so many people on the cruise that were talking about... They gave me the whole list of cities to like research. Don't take Florida off the list. I'm like, I think Florida's still a little too hot for me. Like I like some seasonality. Like I don't want this. What we had snow in New York like a few days ago, and we haven't had snow here in like 5 years. I don't want that. And but a blazer, maybe even a little scarf around my neck is okay. Maybe a little leather something, but I don't want to be bundled up with boots and all of that. In Florida, I feel like I might just melt there. I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out, and you all going to figure it out with me and see me do it live and in person and in color. Made in DC, are you going live today? Because I have a day of leisure. I'm all packed to go home tomorrow, and I'm just kind of chillaxing for the rest of the day. I'm going to work on a little bit of planning. Are you going to go live? If so, I will come and check you out. Anyone else in the room? Are you all live creators? If so, put your live times in here so we can connect and support one. And that for me, like I said, I think I started with that has been the most amazing. You are okay. Oh, okay. I'll be popping around the street, so I'll try to catch you later. I haven't started battling, so I think I may want to dive into that. Yep, I got your bell on. Okay, so I'll and I may pop on later if I decide I want to try to get in these streets. But they say TikTok after dark is a whole nother world. I don't know if I'm old enough. Exactly. I don't be in these streets at night, but because I've heard some stories. It's like, oh, I don't know. I don't think it's too safe after 10 p.m. Okay, well, y'all, I am going to log off. Thank you all for hanging out. Turn my bell on if it gets a little weird. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready, but no, it'll be before dark when I decide to pop through. But thank you all for hanging out. I hope that something I've shared has sparked a thought, an idea, an interest, something that you want to pursue. Keep going, keep coming back, check out my lives and content. And we are getting ready for New Chapter 2026 to do this thing. Thank you all for supporting this room in any way that you have. Taps, shares, GIFTSs, whatever you've done to support me in the room. I'm so greatly appreciated. Can't even talk. Appreciative. And I will see you all on the TikTok streets. Have a rest of a happy Saturday.